Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we have a fun little unboxing video for you all. You might know this little guy from a little game called Poppy's Playtime. And this is from chapter 3. And he's a big old cat and his name is Catnap. And you pull on his tail and he breathes a wonderful little red gas that helps you fall asleep but then gives you some hideous nightmares. And of course there is a big old giant Catnap who is in the facility, who is the main villain of Chapter 3 of Poppy's Playtime. Now, of course, there is no official Poppy's Playtime figures, or toys, or plushes, or whatever you want to call this. So this is certainly a fake. He was made in China, and this is him. He, well, you know, he's pretty good looking for everything he's supposed to be. He has all of his characteristics. He has his big old giant tail. Pulling it doesn't make any gas come out, don't worry. He has... Does Catnap have this black bit at the bottom in his thing? Maybe he does. He has his little crescent moon necklace. He's got his big old happy grin and his eyes. Now, he wasn't exactly like the way that he was listed on the... I bought him off of eBay. He wasn't exactly as he was listed on the eBay listing, and about 3 days after I bought him, he the listing said this listing is no longer available. You know, and I was like, oh dear. You know, like, is he even going to show up? Is anything going to show up? Am I going to get anything from this? And then they sent me what was called a free gift that was absolutely crazy. Hang on, you know what? Let me find it for you. And we're back. And they sent me this, and weirdly enough on it, it was sent, I can't remember if it was UPS or if it was DPD or Parcel Force or whatever, but it said on it that the value of this thing was the value of Catnap, and I was worried, had I been scammed, had they just sent this out and hadn't actually sent the plush Catnap toy at all. And then I checked the tracking and it said that it was still in tracking, and it was about 2 weeks after that, so it took a long time for him to arrive, but about 2 weeks after that this showed up, and I was like, oh my goodness, he actually did show up. Now I don't know if you can tell, but it's like the colour on the left hand side is like slightly lighter than on the right hand side. Like this side is like a darker pink than the left hand side. I don't know if Catnap is supposed to be like that. He's got a lot of little bits there. Maybe he just needs, you know, a brush. maybe that's what it is. You know, but he's actually fairly well made. The legs are a little bit loose. You know, it could have used, I think, maybe just a tiny bit more stuffing in the legs there. The arms are really good. The head is fairly well done. Now, it isn't exactly like it was in the listing. In the listing, he did have actual, you know, little plastic eyes, which they've not done. This is just a kind of little material that's been stitched into the eyes, and the mouth was actually concave. It actually had an area that actually came out, you know, to make it look like an actual kind of lips things. So it's not exactly as... It's not to the quality that the eBay listing had him. In terms of price, I believe he was just over £20 I spent on this little guy. He's supposed to be... There was various different sizes, and I went with the 30cm one, because I thought, well, it's a nice larger size. There were smaller versions of him, and I think he probably is in the 30cm range. To go ahead and give you a sense of scale, let's just compare him to our Gear 4th snake, Luffy. If you're going to drag him in there, you can see there he is. Well, he's just off camera, but there he is. There you can see the scale of big old Catnap in comparison to Luffy over there. Now, this ear does fold forward a little bit, but I think that's maybe just because he's been stuck in a little plastic bag for the entire time of his journey all the way from China. So I think just as a representative of, you know, Catnap from Poppy's Playtime. I think this is pretty good. If Poppy's Playtime ever wanted to make actual toys, actual things of their characters, I would 5,000% be buying the biggest and most expensive version of Catnap that there is. Like, no question. I mean, I love everything about this character, his colour, the length of his tail and everything. Everything about the character I thought was great. I mean, not even just the design, but the story of Poppy's Playtime. I am a little bit of a theorist, to say the least, myself. I don't do many theory videos, but I do have a lot of them. I have a lot of theories that I keep stuck up here in my head. So if you guys would like to hear any theories, do let me know. I do watch a lot of theory videos because I love getting into the deep lore of things, finding those little tidbits of information. That's another part of the reason why I love One Piece so much, is because there is so much information, so much lore to actually gather and get. And Poppy's Playtime is fantastic at that as well. Of course, same with the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which is getting a little bit weird. Five Nights at Freddy's kind of goes up and down in waves, but Poppy's Playtime has been really, really cool from the start, and it's just continuing to get better with each chapter that comes along. So I really love Catnap. I think it'd be nicer if Catnap stayed around a little bit more than just one chapter, but it's also nice that they do a chapter, finish it, and then they move on to the next chapter. So that's also very cool in itself. But there we go, folks. That is big old Catnap. He's a big old fluffy boy, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's available to buy anymore because the eBay listing took him down. Maybe whatever it was that was creating him decided that they didn't like it, or they didn't want to continue making them, or whatever. But he's very clearly a fake, but he's a very, very nice fake, and I think he is absolutely wonderful. So that's it for this video, folks. I really hope that you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah, it's fallen over.